إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just want to spend the next 5 minutes to pass on a live video message to His Excellency the Executive Governor of Kaduna State, man6warns El-Rufai. For the past couple of years, some of us have observed the trend in Kaduna, and I must commend you, Your Excellency, for the good job you're doing in making sure that Kaduna State becomes the dream land of everybody who aspires for anything good in the north. However, I would like to draw your attention and advise that you consider human, face. You consider the welfare of the people as you try to strategize and you push out your policy trust. Your Excellency, I know that you are very vast, not only in the areas of quantity surveying, but you are an astute technocrat. And to that effect, you are well read to an extent that you should remember that in the crisis, the Great Depression of the 1930s, the people, were faced with so much squalor to an extent that, people were dying hungry. Everything was upside down. And John Maynard Keynes came with the popular idea of government intervention in the face of poverty, government intervention in a case of economic depression. And he opined that government should try to push in enough funding into the state such that the people would be able to access liquidity. In fact, he said, even if it means you tell people to dig a hole, return the sand back in, and you pay them, invariably, even if you were paying people for doing nothing, it's a form of making sure that there is access to resources, there is access to liquidity, that people have, that money goes round. And there's no denying the fact that today in Nigeria, Kaduna State remains one of the worst hit in terms of the level of insecurity on the land, whether it's banditry, terrorism, kidnapping, and all those things. Now, when you continue to analyze further, you see that there is a striking relationship, Your Excellency, between poverty and insecurity. There's a striking relationship, Your Excellency, between poverty and kidnapping. There's a striking relationship, Your Excellency, between poverty, between unemployment, Your Excellency, and social vices and criminality, Your Excellency. Yes, we agree that there is no excuse for criminality. However, we cannot run away from the fact, Your Excellency, the Governor of Kaduna State, that in this day and age, not everybody has a conscience. And we must not test the conscience of the people. We must take responsibility as leaders and provide that governance and leadership. Leadership is about meeting the yearnings of the people. We cannot continue to provoke an impoverished people and unemployed people, where a state where people die by the day, and you wake up one morning and you want to sack 20,000 civil servants. 20,000 civil servants, Your Excellency. What sense does that make? Yes, we know there's redundance in the local government civil service. We know that. But when you look at the trend, government in this day and age, the Buhari administration, Your Excellency, you are part of that government. You are part of this government, Your Excellency, has taken up social security like no government has ever done. We have conditional cash transfers front, back, right, and left, everywhere going on, Your Excellency. Now, even if you would pay civil servants under the guise of transferring cash to the people to survive, we need to create liquidity in the system. We need to give people jobs. We need to make sure that our young people are busy. Now you want to sack 20,000 civil servants. Now let's do a multiply effect, Your Excellency. 20,000, imagine that each of them had dependents, 5 dependents each. How many people would you be throwing into the dungeons of poverty and economic depression, Your Excellency? Now, would we be solving more the problems of insecurity or creating more to it, Your Excellency? Now, when you come to education, Your Excellency, you are doing a great job, yes, in the urban renewal of Kaduna State. We are all, proud of that. But for crying out loud, Your Excellency, Kaduna State University, 100,000, 150,000, 200,000 school fees. What happens to the children of the poor that are going to be sacked? We are not supposed to be sacking at this time, Your Excellency. You know better, Your Excellency. We are supposed to be providing more jobs. Even if people have nothing to do, provide them these jobs. That's the sense of Keynesian economics, Your Excellency. We never expected such level of economic insensitivity from you, Your Excellency. Now, in economic parlance, it's not about, yes, that we have to talk about productivity, but you have to understand economics from a private and public perspective. You are not running a private organization. You are not the CEO of Kaduna State. You are the governor of Kaduna State. You are running a humanitarian office. You are there to give governance. You are there to give jobs to people that cannot eat. You are there to provide for families that do not have access to resources. They don't have to work. The people don't have to work for you before they get paid. It's your job, Your Excellency. You are not a CEO. You are a governor of the people, for the people, by the people, Your Excellency. For crying out loud, people are suffering. People can barely eat a square meal a day. Children are being sent home because their parents, not even in private schools, because their parents in public schools cannot afford the very meager registration, Your Excellency. And now you are trying to increase and fuel the level of aggravation on the land. Forget about the state university. It's a controversial issue. But why attempt to sack 20,000 people at this time, Your Excellency? I don't know who your advisors are, but I think you are smarter than that. To fall for an idea, a strategy that is really anti-masses, it's anti-people, and it's anti the present day reality. We are supposed to be channeling our energies towards the fight against insecurity, the fight against banditry. And I wonder why people are silent, Your Excellency. We don't hate you. We have nothing against you. I don't even know you. I don't need to know you. But the fact that matters is you are my brother, and I must advise you and tell you the truth. It amazes me when the so-called elites in the north would sit down and watch you toe this path of anti-people policies during a time, an era where the masses are finding it hard to breathe. The masses are finding it hard to pay their bills. The masses are finding it hard to get an education. Your Excellency, you are running a government owned by the people. The people voted you there for them. They didn't vote you there to cause them tears. They didn't vote you there to make you send them out of their jobs. What crimes have they committed, Your Excellency? There is no argument under the sun for you to sack 20,000 local government employees. Yes, they may go to the office and do nothing. You're not there for profit maximization, are you? You're there to make sure there's food on the table. How did the leaders that we read from, Your Excellency, I read some time ago, where you claim to have read books of leaders of Islamic history. I would like to remind you, possibly you've come across one of those lines about the story of a man, Umar bin Khattab, who went to the house of a woman and her kids that were starving and had had nothing to eat the entire day. And what did he do? He stayed, the leader of the people, and he cooked for them. He provided for them from what we call the Baitul Mal, public treasury. Public treasuries for the people. It's not for us to corner as politicians, as leaders. We are supposed to provide governance, Your Excellency. I'm not in any way, Your Excellency, throwing banters at you, insulting you, degrading you. I'm calling your attention like you would call the attention of any other, Your Excellency. I'm pained, and most of us are impassioned by this idea of making people lose their jobs under whatever pretext, Your Excellency. We are supposed to be creating jobs for people, avenues for people to feed their families. People are dying in Kaduna State, are being kidnapped, are being terrorized on a daily basis. Now, what are we doing to provide succor for them? To give them that comfort of heart that government is ready to provide for them, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, I'm appealing to you. This is the month of Ramadan, the month of mercy, the month of Rahmah, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, please, I'm begging you in the name of Allah. I'm not fighting you. I'm not harassing you. I'm not insulting you. You're an intelligent man. You're a good man. Please reconsider. There are families among these 20,000 who are victims of kidnap, who are victims of bandits, who are victims of terrorism, who have died out of hunger. Wallahi, Your Excellency, that job that they have cannot even take them to the end of the month. How much is that salary, Your Excellency? Your Excellency, consider it social security. Consider it as welfare. We're in the private sector. People must work for what they earn. Had we been in governance, it's a different ball game. It's not about profit. It's about providing for the people. Your Excellency, I beg you in the name of Allah. Your Excellency, I beg you. And whoever has access to Governor El-Rufai, please beg him for the sake of the families of 20,000 people. It doesn't make economic sense. We are students of economics, and we are ready for an open debate, Your Excellency. Whoever has advised you, if there is any professor under the sun in this on Mother Earth that has advised you and given you an economic rationale behind sacking 20,000 people, Your Excellency, I am ready to debate with that person, and if I lose, go ahead. There's no economic idea that can justify sacking 20,000 people. Government, not a private firm. Your Excellency, please reconsider. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.